What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode, Ark Survival Evolved. So I think I'm going to avoid going underwater for right now. I don't know. I'm a little bit worried about the fact that I actually took a look at our Megalodon after we got done with the last episode, and he only had like 200 HP remaining. So apparently he had taken some attrition along the way, and I'm worried that we're not equipped well enough to fight with him for right now. Instead, what I wanted to do is, this has actually always been a pain in the ass to me, but over here on this side of the base, I'm thinking about building a thing today. A thing that we can climb across, and so it'll be like a tower with a ladder on the back end of it that'll allow us to get up and down the mountain very, very easily. I think it'd be a good call, and I think it's something that's going to make it so I can avoid running all the way around that way. So it's going to be kind of one of those This Old House type episodes where we hang out and we just play around with some stuff that we want to build. The additional thing that I'd like to do in this episode, I don't know if it'll get done or not because I have limited materials, but we'll see what happens. I've got a couple thousand wood and a couple of other things. You can see my fish over there. I left them in the water. We're going to build a dock over there so that we can take care of them. I am having a ton of trouble. Like, I sat around for 30 minutes in between the episode trying to get him into the bay over there, and the shark just kept getting stuck. And so the easiest way it seemed like to make sure that that doesn't happen was just to park him out there. And so once I had done that, I was like, wow, I have to walk a long-ass way back to my base. I should probably come up with some solution to this. And the solution is going to be the addition of a ladder maybe over here, or something like that. Now, I don't know exactly how the ladder functions, and so we're going to need to play around with it first. I think you attach it to a wall, and that's basically the end-all, be-all of how it goes down, but we'll play with it in just a second. God, I have a big collection of prehistoric creatures. You don't realize it until they're all, like, on screen at the same time. You're like, well, I've tamed the entire animal kingdom. Like, seriously, I'm like a zoologist right now. I'm like that guy at the zoo that has to get the slop bucket. That's not the zoologist, by the way, but I'm like that guy at the zoo that you always see in there with that big bucket of feed. He's got to feed like 900 animals a day, and he's got to worry about getting bit in the face by him. I'm like, this sucked. Actually, I totally do that job, getting to feed like giant exotic animals all day. Hell, I clean up the poop, I'd scoop the stalls, I don't even care just to hang out with big animals. I'm one of those people, I like animals very much more than I get along with like people, for example. I've got plenty of food, so we should be fine right there. As you can see, I threw the oil in here. We've got all kinds of food just waiting to be preserved. That'll probably only give us like 15 jerky, I think, but it's better than no jerky. I mean, any jerky's better than no jerky, because jerky is one of my favorite things in the whole world. Let's go back to our building supplies here, which I think are inside of this cabinet. Nope, that's going to be my farming supplies. Inside of this cabinet, there it is. Okay, so inside of this cabinet, I'm going to go grab a ladder. I'm going to grab a wooden wall. I'm going to need a ton, like a ridiculous amount of thatch foundations. We're encumbered, drop some inventory. That should not be, oh, it's 156 now? Did they raise the weight on foundations? Why would they do that? That used to weigh... When I put that in there, it only weighed like 50 or something. Maybe I'm wrong, though. Maybe I was looking at it weird. I don't know how we're going to make this happen, then, aside from just taking like half out at a time. And then let me grab something that's swift. Steed, I require you. Which steed is swiftest? And can get me down to the bottom. I guess I could technically just bring along like Lash Nasty or something like that and bring him all the way around back down and in there so that he can carry my stuff. That'll work. Let's do that. Lash, you want to hang out for a little bit? Like, yes. I'm one of the more underappreciated pets, so very much yes. I would like to hang out with you today. I feel like we don't spend enough time together. Put those on there. He's got plenty of berries. Let's go ahead and give you all of our building supplies. Yes, there they are. You're up to 200. All right, so Lash Nasty, I'm going to want you to follow me. Follow me, follow me, follow me, follow me as I go up the hill. As I get all the wood and put it on your bill. You don't have a bill. It's kind of a beaky thing, but whatever. It's close enough. It works. I'm a tad worried that he's not going to be able to turn around if he comes up in here, so... let's just wait till he gets a little closer, and then I'm going to stop him right there. I'm going to stop you right there, Lash Nasty. I'm going to stop you right there. Sometimes what happens is they get up here, and then I can fix it if it happens. But sometimes they get up on top of the hill, and they get stuck down on those rocks, and then I'll have to make like a cut in the middle of the episode to no-clip him out of there, and it's just a pain in the ass, and I don't feel like doing it. Okay, can you tell how much I don't feel like doing it? I would assume that, I hope anyways, from the tone of my voice, you realize how much I don't feel like doing that right now. A little bit of weight right there. Little bit of weight right there. Don't think I'm going to be able to run. Oh, I can. Cool. I'm going to bring as many foundations as I can down here just so I can build that dock and get it all going. There we go. So we'll take this. We got a wooden wall right there, and that's mostly just for me to play around with as I figure out how the walls function. I think you just have to build a foundation with a wall on top of it, and then from there you just build the walls upwards and you just add ladders to it, I think. I'm not totally sure that that's how it works, but I'm pretty sure, which means that it's probably roundabout good enough. So anyways, you come with me here. Enable following. Just a day out with Lash Nasty. He's my bestest beaky buddy. Alright, so let's bring them on down here. I suppose I could take them out for a spin too, but they walk so slow. I don't know, it's boring. I could bring Mash out too. I wish that I had the saddle for Mash. I need to level up a little bit more, but if I had a Brontosaurus, I could truly be happy in life. Is it possible to keep a Brontosaurus alive on a PvP server? Because I would assume that every asshole on Earth would come by and just, like, take shots at your Brontosaurus from a mile off. Because, it's funny and I can shoot your Brontosaurus. Like, it just seems like the sort of thing that people on the internet would do. I don't think you can have nice things on the internet. Somebody's just going to mess with them all the time. And how would you build him a housing big enough to, like, cover his head? He's got, like, 1,000 HP, but still... You got like a group of people determined with 100 bullets a pop, sit there all day and just like blast on the poor guy. Oh well. I have no clue what's going on over here. There appears to be some sort of like dolphin derp fest going on this side. He's just, I don't know if he's following me or what he's doing, but anyways, watch this. He's going to come down the, I mean, he did just a second ago. He might do it again. I'm not sure. Either way, he seems to, oh, he righted himself. That looks almost like a salmon because he's all pink. I got to get over to here, and this right here is where I have all of my creatures stored. I figure we make a little dock, maybe something that goes out to that rock right there, a dock to the rock. That sounds pretty good. I don't know. I made a cut right there because I figured nobody wanted to watch me walk around the side of the same mountain we've been walking around for 900 episodes now. I figure from right here, we should be able to accomplish something. I would just have to level out the platforms and then take it out there. So Lash Nasty, I would like for you to just hang out right here for a minute. And while you're hanging out, I'm going to grab a couple of thatch foundations. Actually, let me take half of them. Take half them foundations. And let's see what we can do here, because I think we can do something. If I put these into this slot... That looks good right there. I mean, if I can get those to connect, I think we've got a pretty good chance of making this all function the way that we want it to. And will those attach right there? That's my next question. So how would one go about making a dock then if those don't attach? This is a concern for me because I've seen other people making docks, and I'm wondering if it's because they got to a certain altitude up above the water maybe and they got it to go out? Weird. Either way though, it's not attaching right here, so I assume that it really does not like being in water. Well, that plan failed miserably. It looks like you can build underwater, but not like above it. What if I come in from like way up above the water right here, and then maybe I can raise the altitude with like page up or something? No, I can't do that. Let me go ahead and I'm going to do some research real fast on building a dock, and if we can get this done, I've probably wasted these two parts already. But let me do some research on it real fast and figure out how you can make a dock for yourself, because I've seen other people build on water, so I assume it can be done. We just got to figure it out. Alright, so I made myself a little build station over here. I think I'm going to get started with something else then. We're going to work on the ladder for a little while. I don't know if we're going to get it done in this episode, but it's one of those things that I want to get at least started here so that you all know what I'm doing. But we were having trouble seeing, and so the first thing I wanted to do is I actually wanted to build like a little builder's camp over here, I guess. We're probably going to be chopping some trees and getting some vague stuff done right now. I'll put that right there. And then maybe use... what do I want this to burn with? I think that that's a little bit too much wood. We'll throw in that right there. Maybe throw in a stack of meat so that we're multi-purposing right now. There we go. And so this is basically the prototype for what we're trying to get done right now. What I'm going to do is the ladder's going to go up to there. There's going to be a ceiling that kind of handles the incline so that you can move in that direction. And the ladder will just keep on going. But for right now, I'm going to deforest this entire area so that we have the building materials that are going to be required to get it done. I still don't think even killing all the trees down here is going to be enough wood for us to even roughly get started. But what I can do is if we can just get the ladder up to the top, or at least somewhere vaguely up to the top, it'll make our lives easier, because what we'll be able to do then is just climb up the ladder to go get the wood out of our stockpile instead of having to go all the way around. So let's jump into our crafting menu here. I think that I'm gonna go for... Let's maybe think about... Oh yeah, I figured out how the thing worked with the water too. You need wooden pillars. If you make wooden pillars, you can build ceilings on top of those out into the water, and that's how you make the dock. For right now, not that useful, but I'll admit it'll be useful eventually. We have enough for a couple of wooden walls right here, so that's good. And then I'm going to need a couple of wooden ceilings as well, and those take 60, so that's actually going to be pretty expensive considering I've killed off all the trees around here. So our wooden walls are now in our inventory. I need this to just keep on going up. So there it is. I think it only takes a couple of wood to be able to make a ladder. It's not actually that difficult. And so if I go up to the top right here, we can probably make a couple of those. So let's throw out 6 or 7 of those. I don't know how heavy they're going to be. But it should, oh, they're going to be 4 pounds just like everything else. Okay, so that's going to be a little bit troublesome. We're gaining weight along the way. Whoever knew you could gain weight from building? I always thought it was from eating and caloric intake, but nope. The health industry has been lying to all of us. It's from building ladders. Too many ladders being built in all of our lives right now, and that's why we've gotten pudgy. Alright, so let's put a ladder right there, a ladder right there, and if we go up to the top, can I put another ladder right there? That looks great. That's actually... I think we probably need about 7 or 8 more walls if we wanted to do this. But still, it's off to a good start. It's off to like a really, really good start. And so if I could get some ceilings to cover some of the lateral distance, I think that's the next thing that I need to do. So maybe 4 ceilings possibly. I don't know if this is 100% going to work, but we're going to try it. Let's chop down some trees in here and see if we can get it going. I have so much wood at the top of the hill, and I just don't feel like going around. I'm being super lazy today. I'm going to see if I can actually chop these down without upsetting this Triceratops and getting myself murdered. There we go. 3 horns is best horns. You just want to just hang out here and be okay with it? Alright. As long as you're okay with it, I'm okay with it. Maybe we should just go back around. I bet it'll be fine. Let's just go back around this way. I'm going to chop as much as I can along the way, though. And then what I'll try and do is I'll try and load up something with all the weight we'll need to get this done. Because, honestly, there's not enough trees down here on the beach. I don't know. I feel like the trees should give you a little bit more wood than that. Like the big tall ones anyways. The little tiny trees on the beach, I don't mind that those only give you like 3 wood. But like the big tall trees, like the sequoias and things like that, the redwoods and, you know, the eucalyptus trees, I feel like you should definitely get more wood out of those. So let's go ahead and chop that down along the way. This whole area is not going to have a single tree left by the time I get done. And I think I'll probably need about 8 ceilings and maybe about, I'd say 8 ceilings and 8 walls. We might be able to get this done for that cost. I don't know. I'm going to go back up the hill. I realize it's pitch black right now, but there's not much I can do about that. I'm going to have to eat in just a moment, too. Hopefully that fire down there does a good job of cooking that food. I love barbecue. Like, barbecue is one of my favorite things in the whole world. Oh, my God. Barbecue is amazing. I eat it all the time. Seriously. After I moved out of my parents' house, I started eating just, like, ridiculous amounts of barbecue, and that has never changed over, like, the last 10 years. I eat a lot of barbecue. Barbecue is, like, really, really nom delicious to me. I'll take as much wood as I can here. Giggity. And then, yeah, you thought I was going to miss it, didn't you? And then what I'll do is we'll go with, I bet we need 8 more of those. In fact, I'm just going to let that finish. Maybe I'll do overkill instead of underkill. And then the other thing that we need are wooden ceilings. And I spent a lot of time farming out these materials in between episodes. So they were in preparation for a big kind of project like this, I guess. If I go for a couple of ceilings right there, 3 ceilings should be enough. Let me drag a little bit more wood over, and then we'll decide what we want to bring with us. Or we can load it all on Bolosaurus Flex or one of our other critters, and we can have them carry it down with us so that we can get this done properly. Bunch of stone right there. And so the next thing, wooden ceilings, I would say to cover that lateral distance, we're going to need at least 10. Let's go 3 more right there. Huh. Apparently, I'm going through wood a lot more rapidly than I thought I was. These are, however, very, very expensive. Oh, I used up all of my fibers. Okay, so that's going to be my problem. Let me take the foundations because those aren't going to be useful at all. We'll take the wooden walls right there and the wooden ceilings, and we'll get those out of our inventory. And then that drops us slightly below our encumberment. I need more fibers, which I think were in here. I don't get out very often, and I just blocked a Hiccup like, cray cray. I was like, nah, Hiccup, you ain't doing that today. Nah. Oh, I have 2 in here, too. Well, then. What am I carrying around that's so heavy for me right now? Do I have, aside from like the 900 tons of wood, if I have 2 freebie ceilings right there, I may just use those instead. Because what am I sitting at right now? I've got 6 ceilings. I don't know if that's going to be enough. I don't know if that's going to be enough. I think we're probably going to need a little bit more. Definitely. So let's go in and let me see if I can get a couple more ceilings made. This is a good opportunity to get ourselves a whole bunch of XP, so that's cool. Anytime I do like a building episode, I get excited about the amount of XP I'm going to get. You know, I'm going to go all in. I'm going to use up all that wood because I think that's going to be enough. I don't know if we have enough walls. I don't know if we have enough ladders. I don't know exactly. If I clear that right there, it's going to put me at 9 ceilings. So we got a couple of ceilings right there, and then I also had a few in this inventory over here. And so if I grab you guys, awesome, that'll work just fine. I've got the, I was actually going to use this trapdoor and this hatch frame for something else, but I never got around to it. You can make an in-floor barbecue. I saw somebody else do it, and I don't recall who it was, so I apologize. I should give credit right here so that you can go check their videos out. But I think I saw it actually on a forum. I don't think I saw it in a video, so either way. We got 44 right there. We're carrying around. What's our weight right now? Actually, I might be able to get this all back down to the shore by my lonesome. And then I need more ladders. That's the other thing I need. I need way more ladders. Luckily, the ladders are cheap as shit, so they're not hard to come by. We'll go for like 8 of those right there. Let me see how much XP I get for this. Any? A half an XP? Okay, well, it's better than nothing, I guess. I don't know. Every now and again, the developers go through and they nerf the XP you get from stuff. And in fact, they've been pretty aggressive about it. Although they've left it with something, so I don't really know. I don't really know what their goal is when it comes to them nerfing and buffing XP and whatnot, because I've seen in the patch changes, occasionally they nerf things, and then occasionally they just arbitrarily buff things, and I don't know. I'm sure I always want to be the kind of person that's like, well, why did you do that? Because I was just raised to, like, question things. I just do. I question things because it's interesting to me to know why it works that way. And so I think that with the foundations over here, I am overweight. Okay. I need somebody to come along with me. I'll probably bring Snuggles along, I guess. Snuggles has a pretty good back, and she fits into places that, in general, the Brontosaurus won't. And so I like to keep her around. But I honestly think the end result of this episode is going to be that we're going to be able to move around our base a lot easier. And I think that is like a really, really important way to orchestrate our business. Because as of right now, I always feel like I'm constantly walking around this mountain. I think going over it's going to be a lot more rapid. That looks all good right there. We're sitting at, what, 81 weight? That's because of the ladders, so we'll put those over there. Let me put you on follow mode real fast, although don't follow me too closely because Snuggles is a bigger dino, and she does get stuck on rocks and other things over here, and I can't ride her yet, which means I would have to completely and totally cheat in order to fix her after I get out of here. I'd have to use Tame All on her so that I could mount her prematurely. And then after mounting prematurely, God, this is a suggestive conversation, isn't it? This is coming out much differently than I had anticipated. Let's go with the walls right there. And I don't really need the foundations for right now. But yeah, anyways, if we wanted to get the dock done, unfortunately, I'm going to need to farm up a little bit more wood. But for right now, we should be able to get this finished perfectly fine by going out this way. It looks like I'm out of water as well. Well, that is disappointing. And I didn't say that to be punny. Oh, shit. Oh, good. She can get herself out of there. That's good. Well, shit, I'll just come down with you then. Don't worry about it. I'm over here. If I knew you were just going to do that, I would have jumped off the cliff with you and just been like, ah, whatever, Snuggles. Test your vertical hops. It'll be fine. Let's bring it back over this way. A few more things to accomplish, and I know that this probably isn't the most thrilling of gameplay, but there's not a whole lot left for us to accomplish here. I'm probably going to record another batch of episodes. I'm going to try and find a solid server. If you wanted to play with me, I'm playing on a server called Splatistan right now. It's a server that I own. Sir, you appear to have forgotten how to dolphin properly. What is going on with you? He's like, I don't know. I wasn't planning on this happening. You know what, though? I'm going to take advantage of this, and I'm going to tame you because I like you like that, okay? I like you like that. You know what, Snuggles? Don't get hungry. I know he looks like a delicious fish dinner, but leave him alone for right now. He'll be okay. Let's bring all of our stuff over here, and I think this is going to be a badass structure, especially once I go through and I make it look all nice with regards to, like, I'm going to put in sidewalls on this and everything, so it's got kind of like a siege engine thing going on. For right now, I'm just going to make it functional so that I can get up there, but let me get my ceilings. I'll trade you some walls for a ceiling. So if you give me the ceilings right there, I'll take that. We should be able to build ceilings on this without having to worry about it too much, I think. And then let me be very careful about this. Ah, shit. Oh, I caught myself. Hooray! I didn't die. Alright, well, let's do this then. Well, maybe that's one of the reasons why I didn't want to build it up that high, is because I figured something like this would happen. And it looks like I actually can't put another ceiling right there, weirdly enough. So I may need to build... Oh, no, there it is. Never mind. And so that's going to be obstructed right there, which is what I was worried about. I do wish that the buildings could be limited, clipped into walls and stuff like that every now and again, because it would make this process a little bit easier. Just in terms of, like, ease of access and getting things done, allowing the walls to kind of clip into the rock wall, I guess, the wall to clip into the wall. I was trying to come up with a better way to say it, but frankly, that's all that it is. Can I jump to Snuggles' head from right here? Oh, yeah. That's the best. Oh, I am awesome. Awesome. I am the awesomest. Alright, so we got those. Where did those go? Am I overweight? I feel like I should be overweight right now. I don't need the riding skill. I'll just jump onto her back from right here. No, don't fall off. Don't fall off. I want to run my hand across her little spiny things. I don't know. They look like they'd be pleasurable to touch. I'm weird like that, though. I am definitely stimulated by the touch. I like touching things that feel weird. I don't know. It's a thing that I've been... It's a weird thing that I never admit to, but I've liked it since I was a kid. Just touching odd surfaces and being like... Brrr. Needs nearby foundation support. So what if... we go up from here? Will this work for me? Like, how many walls? There we go. That's what I wanted to slap in right there. How many walls could I slap in from here? It's having trouble connecting, I can tell. It really does not want to... Oh, shit. Maybe I can do it from right here on the ladder. That might work. There we go. It likes it from the ladder. Who would have thought? Who would have thunk it? So let's put the ladders in right there. Yup. Looking pretty sexy. Getting it done. Alright, so let's go up here. Unfortunately, we got like an extra foundation over there that I'm not going to be able to do anything with. But it's fine. I mean, if I have to go out, requires a nearby foundation support. So what if I put... So I think this is still going to require pillars. Oh, we're so close. We're so close, too. So why doesn't it like what I'm doing right now? I assume that they've got some kind of rudimentary, like... My assumption is that they have some kind of system in play which... Ooh, that didn't hurt me? Really? That's weird. Anyways, I assume that they have some quasi-system in place that sort of, like, weighs the piece, I guess, and tries to decide where it would fit in. I don't know. This is kind of odd for me. What if I expand this out a little bit more, though, and I make it wider? Would that be okay? Would that make you happy? Well, it's not going to let me do that anyways, so unfortunately, probably requires more foundation support. Okay. Well, let me get my parts back then for this. I think that was probably a waste, but we've made it most of the way up right now. I mean, we've just got... I suppose I could... Like, what if I just took the wall all the way up to the verticality that I want? Is that a word? I don't know if verticality is a word. Either way, I'm going to say it as though it is. And what if I just did this, and I went all the way up as high as we could. And then from there, we slap on a couple of ladders. It looks like it wants it for a second. Why won't that work? The ladder is obstructed by what? Is it the foundation on the opposite side? I may have to do some like creative construction, get that finished off. I may have to fly up there to fix it, because I think it doesn't want to attach to that foundation right there. Or it doesn't want to attach to that ceiling. One second, let me see if I can... Gotta weasel my way up there somehow. You know what, I think it's probably easiest just to use the fly command to fix that, because there's not going to be a whole lot of ways to fix that aside from this. And so if I take that out of there, demolish that real quick so that it's out of the way. Then we'll come back down and we'll walk it. There we go. I think that's going to be the only way that I could have fixed that properly. Yep, that's exactly what it wanted. That's about what I had assumed. Keep putting in ladders. And what I'm actually thinking right now is if I can get this up to topside right there, what I can do with it is I can just put in thatch foundations from the rock over there. It might work. It may not work. I don't know. But either way, we'll just make this like a really, really tall siege tower for right now. I don't even think we're going to have enough walls to get this done, and so that's going to be 1,000 wood well spent. Little bit further. There we go. This thing is enormous. Hope nobody's afraid of heights, because faux surely this thing is kind of terrifying. What I think it's going to want me to do is, I'm assuming right now, but I'm thinking it's going to want me to put in pillars or something right here. And so if I put in a pillar from that base down there that goes all the way up to here, we might be able to make that function. We're so close. I mean, the other thing that I could do is I could build from the top over there with foundations and then see if I could get it to connect right here. But it's still sketchy. I could also use catwalks. Catwalks are an option. Catwalks are definitely an option. What are... Oh, that's not what I wanted. Did I hit the wrong thing? Oh, I hit the right thing. That's good. Okay. So, let me get rid of my ceiling deployment for right now. we've basically made it up to the size that we need it to be. Where did that Dolphuna go? Wasn't there one up on the beach? Maybe the draw distance isn't good enough. I want to climb down real fast. I do like the fact that this game uses an attachment system to climb downwards. Seriously, in games like Stalker and whatnot, where you just have to rely on the engine to, like, reliably put you on the ladder properly, I like it when it has a toggle that, like, snaps you onto the ladder like you have no choice. That is sort of a gaudy, ugly thing, isn't it? But I'm sure it'll look awesome by the time it gets finished. I'll play around with it tonight and make it look a little bit better. I'll put in, like, sidewalls and everything so it actually looks like a big structure. That may also be the other reason why we're having so much trouble getting it done, is because when it goes over there, it has to have one wall attached to it. So anyways, I'll ponder that for a little while. I think we're just about up on what I wanted to accomplish today. It's unfortunate the foundations over there won't work, but I'm going to stare at this for a little while longer and see if I can get it done. I think I'll also probably try and go out and farm some more trees so that we can have a few more things to work with. But anyways, my name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here at the Nerd Castle for the next episode, the next Leverly episode of Ark Survival Evolved. I am going to start playing in my free time. Did you just try and drop a duke on my head, Snuggles? That's not very nice of you. I am going to try in my free time, I think, to start leveling up on a PvP server so that if we get around to making a Season 2, which I would like to do one in a PvP setting from here on in, if I get around to that, it may be post-commentated a lot of the time. The reason is for that, or I guess the reason for that would be that what I would like to do with it anyways is if I'm on a PvP server, I'm just going to turn on the camera whenever something interesting happens and then just splice it all together. It may not also be like a 25-minute episode every time I do it. I'll splice it all together and then I'll post-commentate it and we'll just like hang out and I don't know, do like reactions to the footage or something. I'm not exactly sure how to get it to work, but I can get it to work. Either way, if you guys are interested in a PvP series, I'm still not sure what the running confidence is in this series. It seems like the view counts have dropped off a little bit, which is usually my indicator that I should start exiting and starting to plan some other survival game. I've actually been thinking about going back to, I don't know, it's a tough choice. I've been thinking about very much going back to Long Dark, but we'll see what happens there. Either way, I'm going to walk back to base, farm some trees for an hour or so. I'll come back with the next episode after that. Hi-do, everybody.